So today we are discussing about the virtualization. Okay. So before we get into the virtualization, let us try to understand the traditional, the physical server systems. So if you plan for an organization, okay, to start up, if you have plan to build six servers or six applications, you should have six separate servers. Traditionally, how it happens, as soon as you decide what server to go, you will raise a PO, and that PO will go to the vendor, maybe HP or Dell or IBM, whoever, and that vendor will forward that PO to the hardware team, and they will just procure the hardware, and the hardware will just come to your office. As soon as the hardware comes to your office, there will be a hardware engineer will come. They will come and they will rack or they will install the server physically, and one more person will come. He will install the operating system in that. So this flow will take about 45 to 60 days of time. Okay. So to avoid this delay and also to keep the six physical servers, you need to have a bigger data center room. To run the six different physical servers, you need to have a bigger electricity and a bigger power UPS system, and also a bigger cooling system, and engineers also will be extra. Okay. So to avoid all these challenges, as the IT evolves, okay, as the technology evolves, there is a new technology has come up. And that technology we call it as virtualization. See, virtualization, what happens, right? You don't need to buy 10 different physical boxes of small configuration or the servers. Instead, what you can do, you can buy one big physical box. You can see here, I have one physical box here, right? It has got about 100 GB memory, 100 CPUs, and 100 terabyte of storage is there. So what I have done, I've installed a tool or virtualization software on top of that physical server. You can see I have installed a physical box here. You can see, and on top of the physical box, I've installed the virtualization software. And what I have done, using this virtualization software, I have created three virtual machines, small virtual machines, by using little bit configuration from the physical box above. You can see here, I've used 5 CPU, 8 GB memory, and 100 GB storage, and I've created this VM01. And this 20 CPU, 64 GB memory, and 2 terabyte of storage, I've created VM02. Similarly, say for example, 8 CPU, 16 GB memory, and 1 terabyte of storage. Okay, VM03. So you can create n number of virtual machines until unless you completely use this capacity up to 100 GB. If 100 CPU is completely utilized, then you cannot create further virtual machines. So by that time, if any application get retired, see for example, this application get retired, you don't need after 3 years or 4 years, that project has gone done, and you have to discard that or decommission that server. As soon as you delete this virtual machine, right, this 5 CPU, 8 GB memory, and 100 GB of storage will be taken back, or it will be coming back to the free space in this physical server. Then you can use that configuration and you can create one more virtual machine, maybe VM04, with the same configuration. Okay, 8 GB and 100 GB. Okay, so here you are not wasting any resources, you are actually effectively utilizing the resources, and you are getting the things quicker. You don't need to wait for no so long, 45 days to 60 days, to procure a server, install it, and make use of it. This one you can do within half an hour. Okay, that is the uh, advantages of the virtualization. Now let me explain you, there are two types of virtualization. Okay, we call it as type 1, another one is type 2. Okay, type 1 virtualization means you will install on top of an operating system. Say for example, you see here, I have this VMware workstation, correct, right? So where it is installed? It is installed in my Windows 11 machine. See, I have an operating system in this computer called Windows 11. So inside this Windows 11 operating system, or on top of the Windows 11 operating system, what I've done, I've installed a tool called VMware Workstation. You see here, if I go to appwiz.cpl, installed applications, if you see here, you can see the VMware here. See, VMware Workstation, which got installed within this operating system. So the type 1 operating system, virtualization, can be installed on top of an operating system. It will get installed as an application. Okay, where we will use this kind of virtualization tools? This will be used in the educational department, in the institute, or in the it is a free tool actually. You don't need to pay for it. Okay, you can just download the tool. It is available in the GitHub or wherever you want it. It is available on the internet. You can download it and it's free of cost. Okay, in the educational purposes or in the institute, people will use this. Okay, that is called as type 1 because it runs on top of an operating system. If there is no operating system, you cannot use this type 1 virtualization tool. Okay, another one is there. Okay, the another one is there, which is type 2 or bare metal. Type 2 or bare metal. Okay, so this type 2 or bare metal operating virtualization is there, no, that never runs on an operating system. It is not a software, but that itself is an operating system. Okay, means when you install the bare metal virtualization, right, it will get installed as an operating system. Okay, if you see here, I think I've deleted this one. Let me see if this can be. See here, this is the, yeah, this is there. This is the VMware ESXi. Okay, this is one of the virtualization toolkit. Okay, you see here, I've already installed it, and it is running as an operating system. This is the type 2 or bare metal virtualization. Okay, let this get powered on and I'll show you how to control this. So this is what we use in the real time offices. If you go to any organization, if they talk about virtualization, this is what they will install, and there will be a web console. Okay, you just go to that web console and there you can create the virtual machines, and you can do operations, you can do migrations, you can increase and decrease the capacity of the server or the configuration of the server. Okay, so now you know type 1 is a kind of software which you can install on top of an operating system, but type 2 is a bare metal one, so that itself is an operating system. Okay, now you see I have got the URL here. This is 192.168.190.50. Okay, what you can do, you can go to the browser and you can type 192.168.190.50. See here, this is the IP address. I went to my browser here and just type the IP address and I'm hitting enter. So now it will get connected. I will be able to connect to this console. Not happening. Let me check what is the problem. So looks now it is fine. Let me refresh it one more time. 190.150. See, I have just put 150. So if you put, see, I'm able to browse this. Now go to advanced, proceed. You see, a console got opened, that is called VMware. Okay, maybe it could be root and the password would be something I have given. Let me check. Yes, I'm able to see the difference here. If you see my traditional or the type 1 VMware console, virtualization console, you see this one home page you will see, and then whatever computers you will create, it will be available here. But if you go to the actual ESXi, right, there you see here virtual machines are there. You can just click on create a virtual machine. Okay, and then you can give some name here, VM02, and operating system, what you want, Windows operating system, what operating version you wanted, maybe server 2016. Yes, next. And it is asking you to select the data store, just go with this one, no worries. Lab purpose, right? And then it is asking how much capacity you wanted, how much CPU you wanted, how much memory you wanted, see how much hard drive you wanted. Okay, let me put 40 GB here. Okay, this is all. Just say next, 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 finish. Now you see a new virtual machine got created here. Click on this, power on this machine. You can open the console here, open in the browser console. See, that will come here. So this is the type 2 hypervisor. Anyway, I will show you this how to install the VMware, all these things in the upcoming classes. Okay, so you should know there are two types of virtualizations. One is the type 1, another one is the type 2. Okay, so let this get okay. So let me go to the see, this is a Windows 10 machine I have built actually. It's loading. Let this get loaded. Okay, so later we can check. So if you want to edit, say for example somebody will tell you, okay, I need to increase the storage or reduce the storage. What you have to do, you have to go to edit here, but you need to shut down the server. Without shutting down you cannot do anything. Okay, see, hard disk is there. If it is 30 GB, if you want to make it more 40 GB, just 40 GB, you just make it and click on save. It will become 40 GB. Memory, since CPU and memory is grayed out as of now. Why? Because the machine is running now. If you shut down the machine, you will get an option to increase or decrease the memory also. Okay, so this is what. So let this get run for now and quickly go back to the, yeah. So now I think it is clear. Virtualization means it is the process of creating small virtual machines from a bigger virtual machine. How it is possible? That is possible using the hypervisor or virtualization softwares. There are two types of virtualization software. One is type 1, another one is type 2. This type 1 hypervisor or the virtualization, we call it as, why we call it as type 1? Because it does not require it is not an operating system, but it is an application or a software which runs on top of an application. Okay, that is called as type 1. The type 2 is, that itself is an operating system. We need to install that type 2 or bare metal virtualization tool as a software. Then you can browse the console like I have done here. You can browse the console either by using the IP address or by using the DNS name. You can browse it and you can control the screen. Okay, that is what the virtualization. Okay, so now what I will do, let me take you to the lab here and I'll show you how to create a virtual machine step by step, and I'll show you the post build activities also. Okay, if you remember yesterday we have built this VM. Let us see. Let this get built. Okay, let me go to the home, and as soon as you go to the home, you get three options here. One is create a virtual machine, open a virtual machine, or connect to a remote server. Please go on mute if you are unmuted. Yeah. So let me create a virtual machine now. Okay. And I'll explain you each and every steps today. Yesterday I didn't explain anything, right? So as soon as you click on this create a virtual machine, you get an wizard opens. Okay. So this wizard will tell you two options. One is typical, another one is custom. So if you click typical and say, if you say next, 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 it is not allowing you to select any option. See, everything it is automatically coming, and see, it is finished. But if you go to the second option, right, custom, it will allow you to see there are various options. I always recommend you to go with custom because you see what you do. Okay, and you will get more understanding. Click on next, and it will tell you choose the virtual machine hardware compatibility. Means this the version of the VMware workstation that I'm using, it is 17.x, and that tool will support up to this much of capacity. See here, if your laptop has got 128 GB memory, 32 processor, 10 gigs of network adapters, okay, 8 TB of storage, and graphics. So this is the maximum capacity up to this 17.x will support. And for us it is not required because we don't have that much capacity. We only have very limited capacity because our laptop is limited configuration. Okay, so don't worry about this first one. This is just a glimpse of the compatibility or the hardware support limitations. Okay, so next, so here comes the actual selection. Okay, so it is asking you guest operating system installation. So yesterday I told you there are various ways of installing the operating system. You can use your installer disk, means the physical DVD ROM or CD ROM you can insert, or USB port you can install, right? That is the first option. Second one, if you already have a downloaded image operating system with you, you can use that. Or if you select this now only, what happens? You need to sit in front of the computer. It will ask you to enter the key, it will ask you to select the operating system version, and then drive, and then formatting, blah blah blah, it will ask. If you don't want to sit in front of the computer this 5-10 minutes, what you can do, you can go with the second option. I will install this operating system later, and you also always try to do the last option. Okay, I will install the operating system later. Click on next. Then it will allow you or ask you what kind of operating system you wanted. Would you like to go with the Windows operating system, or you want a Linux operating system, or you want a ESXi or the virtualization? I told you, right, this one or other. As soon as you click this 3-4 buttons, right, the version will get also changed accordingly. See here, now if I select other, it is giving me various options. It is giving me Solaris operating system, FreeBSD, MS DOS, NetWare, Ecom Station, right? If you select Linux, it will give you Ubuntu, SUSE, AC, Red Hat, every options you are getting it here. Oracle, everything is coming. But in our case, I don't want other flavors, but I want to go with the Windows flavor. Okay, so I will select Windows, Microsoft Windows, and I need a Windows 10 operating system to be installed. I select the Windows 10 and click on next here. Then it will ask you some VM name. This is the name which will be appear in the VMware console here. W10 new VMware ESX7, na? Here it will visible. Okay, what I will do, I will just make W10. your naming convention should be always clear. You should understand what is that computer by just reading the name of the computer. Okay, since it is W10, I can easily know that it is a Windows 10 machine. But in the real time office, it will be like this. Like it depends on your organization name, okay, and whether it is a laptop means LT, desktop means DT, and some number will be there. Okay, so like that. So now it is a lab environment. Let me give W10 only and click on next. Then comes the firmware type actually. So hardware, this firmware there are two types. This BIOS and the UEFI. This BIOS means it's the basic input output system. This this is the legacy firmware type which was there till last year. Okay, recently this UEFI, the Unified Extensible Firmware Interface. Okay, this comes. It is an advanced. A homework for you guys today. Tomorrow I will ask you what is the difference between BIOS and the UEFI. Okay, and some people should answer for me. Okay, you should know the difference. What is the difference between BIOS and what is the difference between the UEFI? How UEFI is advanced than BIOS. Okay, so you can select whatever BIOS or the firmware you wanted. Let me go with the BIOS only. If you want UEFI, you can go. No much difference for you. Okay, so I'll go with the BIOS, and then it is allowing you to select the processor. See, it is asking you to select the processor here, and if you go to my computer here, to check the configuration of the computer, what you have to do, you have to go to this PC here, this PC, right click and properties. If you go to the properties, then you will understand the configuration of your computer. See here, this is my desktop, and you see the processor, it is i7 processor, Intel Core TM i7. And if somebody asks you what generation it is, see this number 8650U. If the number is 8, it is 8th generation. If the number is 5, it is 5th generation. If the number is 10, it is 10th generation. So the generation of the computer will be identified this with this 4 digits number. Okay, so now if you ask me, it is an i7 processor with 8th generation, and the speed is 1.9 gigs. Okay, and it's a 2 core processor. Okay, so that is the reason here it is asking me to select 2 processor. By default it is coming, the total processor cores are 2. Okay, so I cannot have more also, because there is no availability. My laptop has got only 2 processors. Okay, I cannot go beyond that. Okay, so I'll click on next. Now it is asking me to select the memory. So let me go back to the same settings here. See here, the installed RAM is nothing but memory. RAM means random access memory. Okay, what is the difference between storage and memory? Or both are same? Memory and storage both are same? Can anybody explain me?
No, sir.
Okay, what is the difference between the RAM and memory?
The RAM is working in speed,
Okay,
the system speed,
yeah.
and second one is storage, sir. That one is.
Okay. So how many of you has got the same understanding? Normally, people will talk. I have bought a new mobile and it has got no 256 GB of memory. Is that correct?
Sir,
Yes, Keshav.
sir, RAM is a random access memory that will access memory from storage
Okay. Any other answer? Why do we need memory? Why do we need RAM?
because it will not it will access it will CPU can't take memory fastly from storage.
Okay. See, guys, RAM means it
Sir,
is. Yep. Go on.
RAM which will allow other apps to work, sir.
Exactly. See here, RAM means It is random access memory. Okay, it is a volatile memory, means you are not storing anything. See, now I have opened this console. See here, if I just click on this, you see this home screen, you see Windows 10 screen, this is Windows VMware ESXi 7 screen, right? So these things I have not stored anywhere now. Correct na? If power goes now, this will not be these settings will not be available because I have not stored it. Correct na? Where are they running now? They are now sitting in the RAM. See, whatever things that is behind the screen, you can see all these things, right? They are all in the memory now. They have not stored in the storage. If you want to store that, what you have to do, you have to go here. Okay, you have to make store next. When to completely install the computer, then that will get stored in the storage. So storage means it is a permanently to secure your data, you are keeping the data in the storage. But RAM means it is a random access memory. Anything that you are opening, anything that you are performing, that will get temporarily in a standing in the that cached memory. Okay, that is called as RAM, random access memory, that is volatile in nature. Volatile means if power goes off, that you will not be able to see that data. You will lose the data. That is called as volatile. If power goes off abruptly now, I cannot come and see the same screen here. I have to power on the VMware workstation. Again, I have to click on new virtual machine creation. I have to come to this place because it is volatile. Yep. So if you look at this, right, I have 16 GB installed memory. Okay, RAM. And this computer is also telling the same thing. See, VMware is telling maximum you have up to 16 GB. See, maximum recommended memory. Okay, up to 16. So it is telling 13.4 GB out of 16. Why? Because my physical server also needs some memory to run. So remaining some space to the leaving some space to the physical computer or the laptop, it is asking me to go up to 13.4 GB max, but available is 16 GB. See here, there is an arrow that is pointed to 16. Now I just want to go with 4 GB. Just go with the 4 GB, click on 4 and it will get adjusted automatically and say next. And this is network type, not to worry, just go with the NAT, network address translation always. Okay, and this is IO controller, go with the recommended NVMe disk type recommended, and here it is asking you to select the disk. Would you like to create a new disk or you would like to use an existing one? I don't have any existing one, so I would like to create a new virtual disk. Click on next. Then it is asking how much you wanted, how much storage you wanted. You want 60 GB or 50 GB, how much GB? So let me go with the 60 GB by default. But it will give you three options here below. See, allocate all the disk space now, means whatever is total free of space in your laptop, it will occupy everything. Second option, it will only take 60 GB, but would you like to store it as a single file or multiple files? So one quick example. Normally when we go to the shopping, any shopping mall or grocery center or something, supermarket, as soon as we enter to the supermarket, we will catch hold of a cart, trolley, correct na? So that we can keep everything together and it is easy for us to move here and there, carrying, and then we will buy a bag and keep the things in that. So it is always easy to manage single thing rather than managing multiple things. So this VMware is telling you, would you like to go and store the 60 GB as a single file, or you would like to split this? I don't want to split. If you split it, this 60 GB will get 10 pieces of 10 GB. If you want to move that disk to some other server, it is difficult. So better to go with a single file. Then click on next. It is asking some name, same name. See, VM10 I have given you, right? W10. And this VMDK dot extension is dot VMDK is virtual machine disk. People will ask you what is the disk extension for VMware. It is either VMDK or VHD, virtual hard disk. VHD means virtual hard disk. VMDK means virtual machine disk. Okay, just go with that, say next, and You can review my computer name is Windows 10. It is storing in C, Windows, C users, welcome, documents, virtual machines, Windows 10. What is the VMware version? 17.x. Windows 10 is operating system. Hard disk was 60 GB. Memory is 4 GB. And network adapter is NAT. Other devices means CPU is 2 cores, right? And finish it. Now you see a new virtual machine get opened now. See, it is a raw virtual machine. There is no operating system as of now. If I power on, you will not have anything. It will tell you no operating system found. Like I showed you yesterday, right? Now I need to install the operating system. What I have to do? I have to power off this computer or shut down this Windows 10 and insert the image. The images already I have stored in my software directory, okay, repository. If I go to the edit virtual machine, or you can directly go here, go to the CD and go to the CD or DVD SATA. Here use the ISO image file, third option, browse it and select Windows 10. See, Windows 10 64-bit operating system I have. Let me open that and click on OK. Now we are inserted the disk inside the W10, which is newly built virtual machine. Click on this virtual machine. Now it automatically detects the presence of the OS. It will start booting. See, detected. The cursor is blinking here. See here. See, the OS got loaded now. Now we need to continue the installation wizard. Now can somebody tell me what to do? What is the next step, guys?
Next.
Now I need to click on next. See, the language is English, time and currency format is English, keyboard layout is also US English, right? So click on next. As soon as you click on next, it will ask you to select two options. One is with install now, another one is repair your computer. If you want to repair your computer, you need to click on repair. If you want to freshly install the operating system, then click on install now. As soon as you click on install now, it will just now give the installation wizard started. Okay, it will ask you to enter the product key, and I don't have any product key. You have an option here, I don't have a product key. You can select this option called I don't have a product key. Then it will take you to the operating system selection wizard. Then yesterday I've already told you, we are all going to work as a professionals. We should always use a professional software, licensed one, okay, Pro. So select the Windows 10 Pro. If you are practicing at home, you can still do Windows Home or Education is also fine. But no matter, you better to select Windows 10 because we are practicing it, right? So we should have all the available features in the OS which you work, okay? So click on Windows 10 Pro, next. Now it will allow you to accept the license terms and conditions. See the license terms and conditions, just read it when you have time, okay? And I can click on I accept all the license terms and click on next. Now comes two options. One is upgrade, another one is custom. Upgrade means already told you yesterday, you already have Windows 10. If you want to make it Windows 11, then you have to install the Windows 10 CD and click on the first option. So what it will do, that Windows 10 will get converted into Windows 11, upgraded into Windows 11 without hampering to your operating system or applications which are running inside the OS. Okay. The second one is install. If you are installing it freshly, select the second option. click on new here. Now it is giving you option to create the partitions. Total 60 GB. If you remember, I have given hard drive, and my manager told me to create 50 GB C drive and 10 GB D drive. Okay, so 50 GB means 1 GB means how many MB, guys?
1000 MB.
1024.
Can you guys hear me? 1 second.
Yes, sir.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, sir.
What, you guys? So, if you remember, I have given 60 GB of storage, and my manager told me to create 50 GB for C drive and 10 GB for data drive, D drive. Okay. So, what is 1 GB means how many MB, guys?
1024.
So, 1024 into how much GB I wanted for C drive? 50 GB. 50. If you make it, it is 51,200 MB. So 51,200 MB, just enter here and apply, and you see now a new drive gets created with 50 GB exactly. See here, 50 GB, and it's a primary drive. And if you look at, you still have unallocated 10 GB. Select this unallocated, click on new, and use the complete available memory, and you see there is a new drive got created, or partition got created with 10 GB. That is also primary, but it's a second primary. But operating system should be always installed in the first primary drive. In this list, if you see, partition 2 is the first primary drive. Partition 1 is not the primary drive, it's a system drive. See here, it is 50 MB, and it is not a primary drive, it is a system drive. Type, if you look at the type column here, it is system. But second one is 50 GB, and that's the first primary drive. Select that drive and click on next. So as soon as you click on next, the installation wizard gets started. Okay, it will go to copying the file 100%, installing the features and installing the updates, and then finishing up. So once this is completed, right, and it get restarted, this will give you this window. Okay, yesterday I have installed this one. Okay, here it is asking you to select the region. Let me select the United States for now. Now it is asking the keyboard layout also. Just select the US. You can skip this. You don't need all these things actually. Okay. Now set up for personal use. Click on next. If you opted for the organization, right, it will ask you your office email ID and all. Okay, but in the real time, it will never ask all these things actually. Okay, so here you have this offline account option here in the left corners. Click on this offline account option here, and then you can create a user account here. Okay, I don't have anything limited experience, I just go with limited experience and try to give you one username. Okay, let me create admin. Next, password, it is asking password. You should always give some complex password. Password at the rate 123 I have given as of now, and it is asking you to select some questions. You can select any question and give answers as a. I see I am selecting some questions. and giving the answer is A, common. But in the real time, you don't have this one. Okay. Now, whatever image that I will give you, right, in that you have to do the same thing. So now it is just finalizing the configuration. I don't want this browsing data to be stored or synced as of now. I accept this. Skip this one and we are done. Now this Windows 10 is completely installed and it is now allowing you to, it is now giving you the profile. Actually, this is your profile, Windows 10, and it will take you inside the operating system now. By that time, what I'll do, I'll go to Windows 10 and see Windows 10 is now installed. After restarting, it will give you the same prompt which you had, which this one has given. Okay. Yeah, finally it got installed and you are there in the home screen of the computer. Okay, so this is how you can create a virtual machine and install the operating system to the virtual machine using VMware Workstation tool. Okay, the same fashion goes in the server environment. If possible, tomorrow I will show you how to install a virtual machine in the VMware ESXi console as well. Okay, so with that, I think we can just stop for the day. Okay, so we'll catch you. We can catch up tomorrow. Okay. Thanks all. Let me stop the recording.
Sir, I have one doubt.